What's up, everyone? Welcome to the episode of Moving with Life. This is episode 136. Hopefully you've had a good week so far. It is Thursday, the 29th when you see this. Right now it's Wednesday, so I was trying to figure out, okay, what am I going to do? And I want to start with this. So there's a couple of videos that I'm going to go through, and one's baseball, and I'm going to try my best to kind of segue around these and have a decent storyline for y'all. However, in trying to keep develop, I have to say keep developing, keep evolving the podcast. I like, so let me play, actually, before I just go all over the place, let me just play this video real quick. It's only like a minute, maybe a minute and a half. It's from The Fighter and the Kids, from an episode from last week, and it's an opinion that Brendan Schaub had that I was like, oh, that's not me. And so here we go. Let's play it real quick.
Hey, is this ESPN One Plus, or is this?
It'd be on ESPN, yeah.
Okay.
You don't have the app, do you?
I do have the app.
You have ESPN Plus?
Yeah, man, I fucking do, dude.
I don't know.
I don't like you acting like I'm so old I don't even know what the fucking app is.
I don't know. Usually you and Chappelle are like, what?
I know about this. No, don't say that. Don't say. Although Chappelle is like that.
Well, when I say Chappelle, and I was having this conversation with Mark, and I know Chappelle's going to watch this, but it's like your job as a podcaster is to know what's going on in the world. That's what we do, and have an opinion on it. Yeah. And then you have an opinion, I have an opinion, and that makes content for the show.
Yes.
But if you don't know what's going on,
yeah, and
then I have to tell you, the viewers are more like me and know what's going on. So they're like, dude, yeah, we know Biden's president, Brent, or we know that. So, you gotta have. I need you to have an opinion on the current culture, whether it's pop culture.
Well, you and I have talked about that. You and I have always talked about, like, podcasting is, you got to have strong points of view on the world.
You can't be lukewarm and not be like, oh, really?
No, you've always had that. It's always just a point of view.
For better or worse.
For better or for worse. It's way more interesting to listen to a strong point of view.
Let me see the rest of that card, Chin.
All right, so that's the gist of it, because then they go into because they're talking about the fights from the weekend, and frankly, I didn't watch. I only watch basically pay-per-view fights, just because usually on those cards I just know who they are. I know more of the people that are on those cards in general. So there's a I don't know, it's quite a dichotomy, but it's definitely a opinion. And in the first part, when Brendan brings up when you don't know current event, he's like, oh, Biden's president, what? It's hilarious, but I was able to relate because I get my news from friends or from family, or I know enough people that watch the news. I do get some news feedback because I have social media, but I still stay away from a lot of the politics and different things like that, and so they're talking about, like, oh, you need to know the current events, whether it's entertainment or sports or whatever, because that's how you kind of formulate an opinion, or having those opinions, having strong opinions, is what brings content to the podcast, and that's what podcasters do. I was like, man, definitely not all podcasters, and obviously it'd be a great conversation, because, like, for me, the main thing that I've tried to bring to this podcast, aside from taking excerpts from books and having conversations with my friends and family that I've had on so far, I think by now it is the evolving, because I do feel the need to create, and this is one of the modes of creating that I feel necessary to do, and it hasn't died. In 4 years that I've been doing this. Yes, I've taken almost basically a year break. In 2019 and most of 2020, when I realized, I want to figure out how can I produce, how can I do this content creating. At the end, though, when Brian Callen says, oh, you need to have strong formulated opinions, you have to. I'm like, well, that's fair. I think that, okay, because I didn't say, oh, that's fine. It's like, no, like, yeah. I mean, it is good to have opinions, right? And I think because even when I'm in a conversation in person, it's like I listen to whoever I'm conversing with, and if I can get a good feeling on maybe the person's end goal, whatever, we'll either have a conversation that builds into something, or it's gonna be a conversation where I listen, I let the person vent, which happens sometimes, which is great. I mean, I don't mind. I don't mind being on just the listening end. It's like sometimes we need, we need ears, right? It's nice to have someone to hear our thoughts and what we think and our and our strong opinions, and so I was like, okay. And so even in watching this, like, man, because this did evolve for me into how can I keep producing just daily content as well. I mean, I'm on Instagram. So the Instagram thing, I think I finally settled into a seat that I can feel comfortable with. And this goes to Gary Vee thing of, don't care about what other people, don't worry about judgment and what other people think. If you create good content, people are going to listen anyways. And I think that's one thing that I want to do. I want to be productive in my off time. And in that, bring quality content, whether it's, a daily post on Instagram or a weekly podcast. And so on Instagram, last week, I know last week I literally said, I think at Moving with Life _ was the podcast. And I've kept that tag, but I put it private because because going to the judgment thing and thinking about and I've been listening to a lot of Gary Vee again. That's why I think that's what's like firing my cylinders as far as wanting to create content. But at Andy _MWL, at Andy _MWL, at least for the past week, I have been posting very consistently. I've found ways to be able to do that and not have to really, be on my phone a lot. That's via Tim Ferriss. So that's, there's Gary Vee, the Fighter and the Kid, and Tim Ferriss. These are all things that I looked up on YouTube with people that I already try to use their information to build my, I guess we could say platform, but we could, just to build my creative space, right? And so in doing that, I'm like, you know what? And again, this goes back to, so there's several Gary Vee there's a ton of Gary Vee videos, and there's even like a fan page, and that's the one I've been following. And they post every day. They literally post every single day. So I've been watching their video every day. It's really basically an excerpt from a keynote or some type of talk or some type of recorded conversation. And because Gary Vee's big thing is like no regrets. Who cares about what people say, including family members, including parents? And it's not like you don't care what they say, but if you feel the strong need or the strong pull to create, or you feel like you need to study culinary arts instead of getting a law degree, then go and do that. I think that can summarize a lot of what Gary Vee is trying to promote for people to do, is to find what the thing. And if you have I think I fall under the multiple passions, the multiple likes. Like I listen to podcasts, Fighter and the Kids. I've mentioned them before. I listen to them a lot. I listen to Gary Vee a lot. Jocko Willink released a hilarious. So him and Echo Charles. I guess Echo Charles did the edit, and they released a funny video. It was hilarious. And so, I want to play it. Maybe I don't know if I want to do the whole thing or not. It's hilarious. I think the video is hilarious. Maybe I'll just put it in the show notes. I don't know. But anywho, so yeah, but I guess to tail back to like podcasters should be, podcasters should be in the know, because that's how you bring content to your podcast. And it's like, so with that, because again, this did formulate, it triggered my mind, like, I think there's something to consider here. So then I went to Twitter and I started looking up trends. What's trending on Twitter, because they do a lot of Twitter trends, and they have the Fighter and the Kids have a current events segment towards like the last 30 minutes of the show, basically. So I'm like, well, let me see what Twitter has, and so I think this episode came out on Friday or something like that, maybe Wednesday or Friday, because I think they released like 3 times a week. And so I go down Twitter and I saw nothing. I went down the sports trends. I went down the entertainment. So I lost the article that I could have read, and it's already like a week later. So I know the whole Free Britney thing. There was an interesting article that I had found, but I lost it. So I was like, oh, I can't go over that now. But now I feel like it's a week late. So it's like, like I feel like everybody knows it. I don't know if you do or not. But I thought it was interesting because, it seems like she's making progress in getting her independence back. I feel like there's a whole bunch of, there's a whole bunch of just like things, there's just so much, what's the word I'm looking for? There's so much, baggage. I guess baggage is probably the best word just to summarize. Like there's just a lot going on there with the whole Free Britney stuff. So anyways, so even like right now I'm going through is like, okay, they're talking about for me, because you can on Twitter you can put like what you're like kind of different topics that you're interested in. And I put like sports and I'm currently on the West Coast, baseball. So I do want to show one video. So I had a buddy send me a video and thought that was really cool. Just again, this is pure entertainment. I love baseball. That's my number one sport even above football. So whenever I get a good video, I'm like, oh, maybe I can share that, here on the podcast. But as far as like looking at it right now, so they're going obviously to Tokyo 2020 because the Olympics are going on right now. I used to watch it. I don't watch it now. It's like I don't have interest in what's going on with the Olympics. I'm glad it's sports. It's happening. I'm glad it's happening. It's necessary. Obviously it's been going on for a very, very long time. But even when I look at these like trend, like what's trending there's like trending on so United States trends. So there's like wrestling and general sports, which is pretty much the Olympics. And I again, so I was doing this even last Friday and over some of the weekend, not the whole weekend, but some of the weekend, just to see if I could find anything. So like, oh yeah, this is worth talking about in my opinion. In my opinion, it's like I don't have anything. There's a COVID-19 trend. Obviously, everybody has their opinions. I do believe you should get your vaccine. Maybe that's an opinion that I can bring for today's episode. Is I feel like you should get the vaccine. Working in healthcare now, you get a different perspective. Everybody that for the most part, not everybody, I'm pretty sure you can find an article of a healthcare worker saying, "Oh, I didn't get the vaccine because of X, Y, and Z." But from my experience, so far, especially in the last 2-3 months, the influx of COVID positive have been from unvaccinated people. So there's one, I guess, and again, why vaccines are safe, what COVID-19 vaccine if efficacy, so how effective it is, what it means, how the COVID-19 vaccines work and how they're distributed. So I guess I could go into that, but even then, I feel like it doesn't. It's not. I guess for me, I feel it's not. Maybe it is relative to moving with life. It is it's a pandemic. I haven't talked about it much really at all. Just that we're in it. And I really wished it would have gone away. I think I have talked previously about when vaccines coming out and people being able to get vaccines. That's an exciting thing because I felt like it was very necessary, and I got lucky because I was able to get it early on as a healthcare worker. Then the news. Let's see what's in the news. Astronomers see back of a black hole for the first time, proving Albert Einstein was right. That sounds pretty interesting, actually. See, and these weren't up earlier, but it's like girls who code. Like, okay, Bitcoin is digital real estate. I don't know enough about Bitcoin. I have some investment in it, but it's like like for me, it's like what is relevant for me with this podcast and moving with life. The leadership stuff I talked about. Me and Brian talking about business. Me and Freddie talking about stocks. having those conversations, doing excerpts from whether it's Jocko or meditations or other books that I've been able to that I've brought information to the podcast from. It's like, okay, cool, like that makes sense. But again, yeah, generally it's like some of this stuff, like I just don't feel it necessary. So maybe I just need to keep checking, just to kind of be somewhat relevant. But even then, I feel like even me having this conversation, I'm just being honest with you, the listener. Because I said this even from day one, as far as being as transparent as I can. Because the point of this podcast is just to learn and grow and and figure things out. There's a lot of great posts that I have found on Instagram where getting quotes from Warren Buffett, Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, all these wealthy but awesome creators that have essentially changed the world. But I've seen a lot of like trendy kind of not memes, but just posts that are created. That's like if your circle is not talking about finance, real estate, health, mental health, physical health, ways to better yourself, then you should probably find a new circle or leave that circle behind and find a new circle. And so that's what a lot of it is. Because even when if I am scrolling on Instagram lately, it's like half the stuff I'm like sending friends and family is like real estate. Like, hey, look at this house. Like, I found this house, and it's like, oh, like it's something that I consider looking more into to see if maybe I want to get it someday or something like that. That's what it revolves in. Plus, I feel like me doing my personal things I can't bring to the podcast. So this is an ever evolving podcast, and I think that's the point. Because I hope, and I can't, and I hope, and I really can't wait till when I am able to go back to Texas and have conversations with my friends and develop new relationships and more relationships. As time goes on, and then having again just a one-on-one conversation, maybe have a couple people on, like the way I have had. I think we've had up to like 5 or 6 when we were in Nashville. It was like 5 or 6 people. It was a lot. And that was a big learning opportunity for me, because it was trying to almost forcefully create a conversation between a bunch of people that, yes, we can talk. You have your general talk about just everything, but to try to formulate and have some type of direction and theme, the theme, which I think we had eventually got to at some point in that conversation, but still, that's a lot of people. Because even like Joe Rogan, like have 4, and I think he's at the most he's had maybe 3 other people plus himself. Plus Jamie, so maybe 5 people total, but they all have kind of like their part. I can say though, even with Joe Rogan, especially when he has Joey Diaz, or he has any of his comedian friends, and obviously everybody that he brings in for I call it definitely educational purposes, but where I guess what makes them interesting is their opinions on their subject matter, whatever their expertise is in. And I think because I'm still developing mine, and I feel necessary to take more pictures, I feel necessary to do this podcast, try to do this at least once a week. I listen to a ton of music, and my only thing about the music part is just all the right restrictions and just audio being shut off from when I post it. So I don't know how to work around that, really. What I could potentially do is like look up people like on SoundCloud and people that are putting out their music and just go that route. But the thing is, I listen to so much country music, and like Gary Allen just came out with his newest record, Ruthless. And one thing that pissed me off, so I guess here's another little opinion. So he had put on, I guess his team had put on, I guess they had done a live show in Nashville to promote the record, and I had watched it like 3 or 4 times, and I'm glad I did. But then I was looking for it last night, this morning ish, and it wasn't there. Like they put the video back on private, and they've released the songs individually, more like studio release and stuff like that. Versus this live show, I'm like, and it did upset me, because it was like, I want that live show. Like it's already a live show. Like it's not like you guys are coming over here anytime soon, or I can see Gary Allen live, even soon, because I think the last time I saw him was probably like 2014, 2013. I don't know, around there, 2013, 2014, maybe even 2015. I don't know. It was a while back. It was already, we're basically going on another 10 years by time I get to see him again. But he's, him being watching that show reminded me why he's my favorite artist. At the beginning, I could have argued against myself about like, oh yeah, he's definitely the top artist and song. He's a top artist. So I'll leave it at that. He's a top artist that he's number one on my list as far as my favorite, live and just song catalog and everything. But when I watched that show, and it was only an hour and like 6 minutes, and I was like, that's why he's my favorite. Like that show, just the way it flowed, and he put in three of the songs from his record, from the new record. He put in 3 songs, and it just kind of flowed. And obviously, he has a catalog of hits, so it's kind of easy for the audience. If they know his music, then they're going to know every song basically, except for the 3 new ones. Which the 3 new ones, I knew about it because I had already heard the songs as soon as the record came out. Okay. Well, there's my music and entertainment segment. And very quickly, just because, again, I really appreciate baseball. It's my favorite sport. I don't have a favorite team. I'm from Texas, so I like Texas teams. Yes, there's naysayers. Yes, everybody has an opinion. That's the stuff I literally don't care. And that's where like I feel like I have gotten better as an individual, now trying to bring that to the podcast in the sense of like, yeah, sometimes, I guess negative opinions don't matter to me. I don't care to know a negative thing, because even I try to stay away from negativity, because it doesn't do me any good. And with that, it's like, yeah, okay, hey, I don't like this thing because of this and that. I'm like, okay, man, like, what else don't you like? You don't like, I don't like sushi, and everybody's like, oh, it's like, who cares? It literally doesn't affect you. So I think that's why I'm in this, even my own mental limbo of evolving the podcast, but wanting to, and I don't want to use the word relevant because it's still moving with life. I still try to keep a centralized idea behind what is moving with life. But when it comes to just negative stuff, it's like I'm beyond over it. I'm done with it. I prefer not. We can have a great conversation. Then it's like, oh, but I don't like blah 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 blah. It's like, and that's all it turns into. It's just blah blah blah. It's like, okay, next subject, I guess. What do you like? What is positive? What is positive in your life? I'm just not interested in negative news. I'm not interested in things that aren't happening for people. Anyways, so I got this. So it's a. I think I have this. I don't even remember. I think it was at the Mets versus the Braves or something. MLB posted it, so obviously I'm my buddy sent it from the MLB Instagram, and it was a throw from, I think, like right field to home. It was a quick hit out, and then the outfielder, did he catch it on a bat? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see it. You'll be able to see it here in a second too. But the outfielder either caught it in a bounce or caught it, or the base runner tagged, caught it in the air, threw it, and then you'll get to see here in a second what exactly happened.
Off double. Adrianzo, though, lines one into right for a base hit. Almonte to third. He's being waved home. Here comes Conforto's throw to the plate. McCann, the tag. He's out! He's out!
Conforto.
Off double.
So there's that. So that, it's just a great play. And if you're not a baseball fan, I'm sorry, but that is something that's like, it just like, it fires me up, because like, if you've played sports that put you in a high intensity predicament, then you understand. And it goes softball or baseball, and then obviously if you have those sports that you have just big situations, big scenarios that about, it's the same thing. So and he threw it on the line shot. It was for me, when I get to see cool plays like that, it's just, for me, it's a little beyond words because it's just so cool. And it happens sometimes. Sometimes runners, because there's a bunch of fast runners in the MLB right now. So a lot of times they beat the throw, and this was just a perfectly sequenced situation where Cortano, I think was his name, was able to get the ball in the hop, just launched it home. The runner got sent home, and it might have been for the win. I don't know what I actually don't even know what the situation was, but I just like the play. And my friend sent to me, he's like, "Hey, dude, check this out." I was like, "Okay," because I like baseball. We agree on baseball. It's like, yeah. He's like, "Check out this awesome play." I said, "Bet, that's a great play." And now here I am talking about it for the next couple of minutes. So yeah, that was a great play. That was an awesome play. It was very quick, short and sweet. Got him out. Done. You guys know anything about Love Island? I don't know anything about Love Island. Let's see, 27 hit songs that their singers regret, hate, or literally refuse to. Okay, I'm gonna click into this one. Let's see what this says. But see, where's the I'm looking for because there's no link. I'm looking for a link. It doesn't let me say a link. Oh, what the heck am I doing? Check out the rest here. Okay. 27 songs. Let's see. Billy Joel, We Didn't Start the Fire. I think it's the We Didn't Start the Fire. Yeah, I guess it's that one. I don't know. Let's see. Billy Joel, We Didn't Start. So I'm just gonna go through the list because it's 27. I'm not gonna read every single detail. And if you know the song, cool. Some of these songs, I mean, these seem to be more like pop and pop in the sense of popular music at whatever time they were, whatever era they were part of. Pink, number 2. Don't let me get me. Okay. Camila Cabello. I say Camila Cabello. OMG. She says she doesn't like her own song. Okay. Ariana Grande, Put Your Hearts Up. And then another Ariana Grande song, Touch It. Oh, so they give her 2. Must be cool. Elton John, Crocodile Rock. I don't even know what song that is. Bruno Mars, The Lazy Song. Makes sense. Well, I've never heard of it, so that's fine too. The Jonas Brothers, Pizza Girl. That sounds hilarious. I'll probably actually look that one up. Lady Gaga, Telephone. Maybe you've heard that song. I haven't heard that song. Another Lady Gaga song, Money, Honey. No idea. Miley Cyrus, Party in the USA. That gave her freaking breakout. Party in the USA. Okay. In a video of ex-husband Liam Hemsworth singing Party in the USA, Miley says she hates the song even though for some reason people love it. It's a catchy melody. And it's Party in the USA. It's yeah. Yeah, Party in the USA. Yep. It makes sense. Willow Smith, Whip My Hair. Sure. I don't know. Sure. Taylor Hawkins of the Foo Fighters, The One. Okay. Halsey, New Americana. That was one of her hits. I think that was one of her hits too. Says however fans share their. She just doesn't like it. However fans share their love for it. Yeah. Justin Bieber, Beauty and a Beat. Interesting. I don't know that song either. Yeah, I see a lot of this. I see this pop culture thing. I don't know. It's just if you were to hear my music in my truck, if we were riding together, and it's stuff that you might know, but it's not stuff that you hear on the radio often or all the time. Ed Sheeran, Shape of You. Man, see, why? I mean, I think they're just maybe a little jaded of the songs that made them. So because they have to play them now, so they just don't want to sing them. They don't want to sing them. Felt like the song wasn't him, and it took a month or two to convince him to put it on the record. Oh wow, interesting. I wonder who else they would have given it to. Obviously they waited 2 months to try to convince him because they really wanted him to sing that song. Madonna, Like a Virgin. Where are we at in time? We're almost there. Got a couple minutes. I'm trying to finish up here. We're on number 8. Oh my God, we're on number 18. Okay, I'm gonna mispronounce this, but just Charlie XCX. I don't know if that's a number, like a Roman numeral thing. Break the Rules, sure. Lord Royals, I think that was one of her hits too. Kelly Clarkson, Breakaway. I'm gonna assume that's one of her favorite. That's one of her like songs that broke her out. Another Kelly Clarkson song, A Moment Like This. I don't know what song that is. Avril Lavigne, Complicated. These people are okay. I guess here. Okay, I can start developing opinions here because some of these songs, like, okay, but it broke you out. Like you can now just live off these songs and keep making songs. I mean, yeah, maybe it wasn't like your most favorite, but if it helped your career advance and allow you to create more, then you're good. Nicki Minaj. So we're number 23. Nicki Minaj, Starships. I don't know what song that is. Another Nicki Minaj song, Your Love. Don't know what that song is. Another Nicki Minaj song, Anaconda. Don't know. Selena Gomez, Come and Get It. Sure. The last one, is it pronounced Zayn? Zayn? Sure. He says basically all of his One Direction songs. See, and this is stuff that I don't get. It's like, come on. Like, you had a breakout, you had success. You know, people were wishing they had your success, but now people are finding ways to create. Excuse me again. Sorry. Whenever I talk a lot, I notice that this happens. And basically all of his One Direction songs. See, Zayn has called the group's music generic and not his style, saying they recorded what they were told would sell. Later said of their music, that's not music I would listen to. Would you listen to One Direction at a party with your girl? I wouldn't. People listen to them. I don't know how many songs they don't have that many like popular songs, but they do. Sounds like people are spoiled, but that's just my opinion. I'm gonna stop there because see, that's where negativity can start. Because like, oh yeah, like what? Like this doesn't even make sense. Like half these songs broke you all out and allowed you all to have careers and like just success and be able to live in wherever you want to live and do whatever you want to do and move on whenever you want to move on without so much worry about financial stability. But anywho, I will stop there, and I appreciate you staying with me this long today. I will do better about my research and I guess I think this was a pretty cool trend. The 27 songs that people don't like singing at 20. What is it called? 27. Oh shoot, where is it? 27 hit songs that their singers regret, hate, or literally refuse to perform. Good for them. They still get to perform, and hopefully they get out before they get too jaded. And that's what I'll say about that. So, thanks for joining at Andy_NWL. Take care of yourself. Take care of yourself mentally and physically. Take care of your teams. Take care of your household. Lead from the front. Lead by example. Teach. Help others learn and grow as well. And hopefully we will come back next week and we will continue down this journey of moving with life.